My name is Madeline. Today I'm going to be talking about Gogokid's updated demo lesson, Look a Hand. So Gogokid recently just updated the PowerPoint. I think that this change was a great change. It's a lot easier of a lesson. But I'm going to go ahead and walk you guys through it today. I'm going to have two parts to this video. So the first part, I'm going to be talking about general tips, ways to get the child to use a complete sentence, ways to get them to click and to circle and do all the things that you need them to do. And then part two is going to go more in depth on each slide, what I would do. So a few things to remember when you're teaching a demo lesson. This child is a beginner at learning English. And so the most important thing is to be patient and give them time to respond. So sometimes giving them a moment and just letting there be silence is the best thing you can do. You don't want to always jump and give them the answer right away. You don't want to interrupt them if they start to say something incorrectly. Let them finish their thought, let them finish their response, always praise them, and then model the correct response. So be really patient with them. We don't want to use any negative language, so no saying no or wrong or try again. Instead, everything they say, good, okay, this is an apple, or whatever the new sentence that you want them to say is. Model it correctly, have them repeat it back. But we don't want to say no, because think about if you were learning a new language and you kept getting told no. That'd probably make you less likely to want to respond, and we really want these kids to get talking. That's how they're going to learn. And so be really positive in your responses. Always praise them if they're good, if they're wrong, just for responding, and then model the correct way. You really want to watch out for their pronunciation. Make sure that if they do pronounce something incorrectly, that you do model the correct way immediately after. So don't let it just slide, don't go on to the next sentence. Make sure that they're saying each word that they need to say correctly before you move to the next word. So really watch for that, especially during your interview. If your interviewer says something wrong, go ahead, model it correctly, have them respond, and then move on. All right, another huge thing to remember is TPR, total physical response. You want to be moving throughout the whole entire class. So use TPR to show the child what you want them to do. This is instructional TPR, so you can point if you want them to repeat what you're saying, cup your ear when you're ready for them to respond, good job, all of that type of thing you want to be doing throughout, and then also use it for teaching them new vocabulary. And so if you're teaching mountain, you could do that. Or if you were teaching cat, you could do this. So little things that they can add a movement to the vocabulary word. So you want to use as much TPR as possible. Think about if you were learning a new language, how helpful it would be to have a little gesture going along with what they were trying to teach you. So make sure to do this, hello, big hello. What is your name? You're pointing at them. Really try to move as much as you can. So along with TPR, whenever you teach a new vocabulary word, you also want to try to aim for the child to say it 3 times. Keep this in mind throughout when you're teaching new vocabulary in this lesson, such as arm and hand. Make sure you're getting to say it at least 3 times. When you're trying to get the student to respond in a complete sentence, there are a few things you can do. Number 1, just repeating it. So if they say one word, you could just model the complete sentence, listen again. Or you could use your fingers. I like to use my fingers and hold them up. Sometimes I underline on the screen each word just to give them a visual. So when you do get to those sentences, if they're only responding with one word, use those little methods to help you. So another thing that you're going to need to do in this lesson is teach the student to click. They don't already know how to do this, and so it's very important that you teach them how, because they're going to do it several times throughout the lesson. So the best way to do this, using TPR, just doing click, saying click with the motion, and then I have a picture of a mouse sometimes I hold up. I have this picture with a hand on a mouse that I'll use, and then I also have this mouse, so you can hold it up and model click, click. Sometimes you might have to do it the first time for them, and hopefully after that they figure it out. Sometimes I underline what I want them to click, and so it kind of helps them, so click, hand, and so they hopefully know the vocabulary word. Then with that, and the little cue of what they're supposed to be clicking, hopefully it all comes together and they're able to do it correctly. And so just show the interviewer that you've thought through and that you understand that a beginner English learner will not understand what click means. Show them that you've thought through, show them that you have a way to teach them click, whether it be a mouse, a picture, TPR. Show that you've thought through that. If you just say click hand, and don't do anything with that, the interviewer is going to think, well, they don't know how to teach English to a beginner. So make sure that you have something prepared. Throughout the lesson, you also really want to have high energy, be really enthusiastic, smile a lot, give a big hello, big goodbye. Make sure that you have the energy up. Over camera, sometimes things can be a little less exciting than being in person with someone, and so really try to amp it up, make it a high energy class. That's what they really want in their teachers. You'll also want to have some simple props throughout the lesson. I'll show these in my later slides, but try to think through your props ahead of time, have those ready, have those prepared, and use them to enhance the students' learning. You'll also want to have a secondary reward system ready. This reward system, there's not a slide for in this new demo, but this is something they expect teachers to have. So this is a reward system that you do along with stars. So stars are something that you give them virtually, so you can click the stars and they get 5 stars throughout the class. This is something that you do on your own. And so I use just scrapbook paper. Oh, my monkey fell. And then little stickers with magnets on the back. So I have this monkey reward. This one's really popular. I get a lot of compliments on it, and the students always love it. So you earn a monkey, and I make monkey sounds, and they love it. So make sure you think through a secondary reward. It doesn't have to be complicated, but make sure that you do have one. Another thing to keep in mind is your pacing. Make sure you're watching your timer throughout the class. Make sure that you're not spending too long on one particular slide. They do have extension built into this demo lesson, so if you are ahead of where you thought you should be, you can add an extension question, and so that's really nice, so you can work with the pacing throughout the lesson. Make sure that you're finishing in a timely manner. Don't spend too long on one slide. Usually about a minute per slide is the way that pacing works. So if you remember to have good pacing, a lot of patience, to give positive corrections in a timely manner, to get the student to talk in a complete sentence, and to have high energy and a lot of fun, then you will be ready for this interview. So remember to keep these things in mind. They're going to help you throughout. I'm going to go in my next video through each slide how to incorporate these, but these are just general tips to keep in mind. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.